Right, this is a walkthrough of searching for Postman on GitHub, which is a pretty interesting search to conduct. It's something Abhinav had asked the DevRel team if we were doing, and it just kind of struck home with me that it's something we should be doing, not just one time, but on a regular basis. So, just for a quick background, if you come here and search for Postman on GitHub, you get 7,000 repositories. When I first conducted this search, it was 6,200. Now it's 7,500 repositories, which actually begs the question, what what was that growth? That will be a separate project at another time. But right now, I was trying to pull the search results. I wanted to make sense. What's in this 7,500 search results? What is it? It's kind of tough to see. You can sort by different things here on GitHub to get at things, but it really, you need to be able to dive deeper into what's going on. So I created a collection that walks you through pulling of this data, and it pulls it and then stores it into the environment, but then I imported it into a custom system for evaluation. And so I pulled all of these, dumped the data, and created a little site for exploring the data and seeing what's possible. And this is something that can be updated on a regular basis, making it easier for these results to be explored. So 7,000 results, it's a lot of data. Not all of it's good. Not all the projects are interesting, but there's quite a bit going on. So the first dimension that I sorted things by was kind of the top 100 keywords. So this is based upon count, which isn't always reliable because you get some common words. I tried to filter out a lot of that. But these are the top 100 keywords that are in use across repositories that mention Postman. So collections and testing being the obvious top two. And then we've got scripts, automation, documentation. But this list of keywords really reflects what developers are thinking when they're building open source projects that they publish to GitHub that are related to Postman. So this is a pretty interesting list of keywords. I can create tag clouds from this. We can use other, work with marketing to make sense of how we extend this to SEO and other areas, but it's pretty interesting. If you scroll down, you can go to click on any of these. You can click on collections, and you get a list of the top 25 repositories for each of these words. So these are sorted by the sum of stars, watchers, and forks. And I'm only showing for this the top 25 just to kind of make it easier to scroll through and look. And then where we hit testing, you can see what are the most popular testing projects on GitHub. So you can quickly look through the cream on top of each of these words. Here's design. You can always jump back to the top, and you can jump down to sandbox, scan the sandbox ones. You can scroll back up and repeat, making for pretty interesting experience just to try to understand what people are building when it comes to monitoring. And it starts helping you get past just the counts and see what's actually being used. And so that's just the top 100 keywords. If you really want to start going down the rabbit hole, here's the top 500 keywords. Pretty making for another interesting tag cloud potentially. But then you can really start digging down and seeing. I don't limit the number of listings for each of these. I show all of them. They're kind of in a scrollable div. So if you click the collections, it's right above testing here because you've got 294 listings that you can kind of search through here and see what's going on, and they are sorted by counts. And you can kind of really start seeing. You can click and go visit each of these repositories if you want. It makes for a pretty nice way to explore. But then I wanted to go further down this rabbit hole. I wanted to understand what brands and platforms people are building on when it comes to Postman. So it's an interesting look. You can Newman being the number one, Express, Jenkins, and you can explore projects that are just by brand, technology brand, I guess is what I was going for here. And then after that, you can look at by language. This is just if it mentions the language. It's not based upon the repo definition, which is an enhancement that could be done in the future that might up these numbers and counts a little bit better. And then I wanted to look at by standards. What were some of the common standards that are in use from OpenAPI to OAuth to JSON schema? Trying to get a feel for what people are building around when it comes to Postman. And then the last one here is I basically just sorted the top 1,000 users and orgs who are building things. Basically, their rating in the GitHub system based upon number of followers. I sorted them, and if they built anything or one of these repos was contributed by them. So I show their bio, company, and location if available. And you can scroll through the top 1,000, but there's a lot more if we want to dig into it. This is just really the top 1,000 who are building interesting things. So that's a search for Postman. I'm gonna pause it there and just kind of leave this. This is a homepage for research. If you want to start understanding it, I'm going to regularly update it, probably every month. Pull the results and publish. So it's really a research site at this point, but I feel like at some point it would be useful to share back out with the Postman community and make it into a site that they can navigate. I mean, as it is, it's easily navigated, but it's just at my personal GitHub repo. It'd be nice to have it under a Postman domain, have it be branded. But at this point, I'm gonna wait for direction, and I'm just gonna use it as a research tool. One last note: I will be replicating this for OpenAPI. So search for OpenAPI. I'll be running the same set of pulling of data, processing it, and then presenting it in the same way, which will give us another snapshot of these what keywords are in use and what people are building for, as well as the brands, languages, and other standards that are being used. I feel like one thing to know is when you're looking at what are the brands being built with by OpenAPI that aren't reflected in the brands being built by Postman. We might want to think about that. That provides a pretty interesting target list of platforms that we could go after. So anyways, I'm looking for feedback. I'm going to be conducting a version of this, a live in Zoom person version of it. So if you're more interested and you want to ask questions, hit me up on Slack, email, or you can join the Zoom. Thanks.